Morning.
Morning.
Say morning.
Hi, hello, I've got a big Tetris piece.
Whilst you rebuild the sofa.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you, firstly, a little bit of what we have to deal with. We did unpack like a little bit last night, but I've also done a few bits this morning, and I'm going to show you that now. So we have all of this. So much stuff to do. It's day 2 in the little dream house, and all we pretty much have is our sofa, our TV, our Xbox One and PS4 that we can't use because they need an update, and we have no internet. So that's a rant in its own. EE said that the internet would be done by today, and it is not done. And when we rang up last night, we were like, why is our internet not working? They were like, oh, because it's not going to work till the 9th of December. I was like, no. But we specifically went with them because they can post the router to you, and it was like a process of 10 days. It was like, we'll sort out all the paperwork, we'll send it to you, and then a couple of days later, like on the 10th day, the internet will work, and it doesn't. And I work from home, and it's a nightmare. So we're going to ring them today, and if it's not working today, we're going to cancel that mofo quicker than you've ever cancelled anything in your life.
No, I can't see a thing. The light is horrendous. Hi everybody. So Kai sent us out. We've got a very specific list of things that we need to get. It's basically just the appliances, like, you know, the microwave, the blender, the kettle and stuff. My dad's here. Here he is.
Yo!
Yo! So he's basically come because I don't know how to assemble anything. I've not done that true test of a man just yet. So he's come to actually assemble like the bed and whatever else we managed to order yesterday. I think the office desks as well. We're obviously still waiting on anything that's downstairs. We don't have. We only have bedroom and office stuff, which I guess are kind of the important things. But yeah, so that's what's the plan for today. Just an update, by the way. We were talking this morning about how we have no internet. Still the case. We've got one sweet spot. We've managed to like test it with our phones. We've got one sweet spot in the apartment where we can get a 4G signal. Like last night, we had to go out into the shared garden of our building, and Kai had to basically stand like a ballerina on like the tips of her toes and hold her phone up for about 10 minutes whilst we uploaded the video that you saw yesterday. And that was, yeah, it was pretty dire considering how cold it is as well. So we sort of gave the people a bollocking, and they've given us like 30-40 quid to go and get ourselves a dongle and get some data and stuff. They said they'd cover the whole thing, so we're hoping that works, fingers crossed. But I guess worst case scenario, back on Monday, we'll be going back into the office and stuff, so we'll be able to upload the videos from work. I'll put them on a hard drive after Kai's edited them each day, take them to work, upload them, we'll be set.
I am literally having the most boring day ever whilst Martin and his dad are out gallivanting. No, not really. They're buying all the kitchen appliances and doing all the fun things and being outside and spending money. Where I am unpacking things. I have sofa. Oh God, light. I'm facing the wrong way. Bear with me. I have unpacked all of the kitchen. So I thought I would show you what I've done so far and see if it makes sense. I know this is quite weird, but like I really find it interesting how people like all arrange their kind of kitchens and stuff differently. So in here we have all our glasses, our normal glasses, little glasses, red wine glasses, white wine glasses, champagne glasses. And then I thought makes sense next to that to have all of the mugs and stuff, and then like our jugs. And then in here, I'm going to have all our tea. This is my little tea collection. It's not big at the moment because we've just moved in. But my priority is obviously always getting tea. But at the moment, as you saw, I'm having to make tea with a saucepan. Up here, I was thinking we would have like all our appliances that Martin's going out to buy, like the food processor, the blender, all of that jazz. Down here, I thought it makes sense to put all the stuff that like we cook with. So when I get like baking trays and stuff like that, I'll put those in here. Behind here, we've got like all our glass pots for like cooking stuff in. Got our roasting tray. Down there, we've got our 2 big bento boxes, which are absolutely amazing. Let me actually show you Martin's one. So they are a bento box, but they're like not your typical bento box. You have the lid which goes on top of here, which you open up, so you can put half your food in here and then the other half can go in here, and you can even split it up with this. So say if you wanted chicken in here rice in here and vegetables in here, you could split it all up, or you can obviously take it out and have it whole, and then you stack them on top of each other and then put the lid on, and it will keep your food cold because it's actually like a thermal bento box, which is why it's so chunky. So I'm going to be making Martin's lunch and stuff like that because we're starting like a really healthy meal plan, as you might have heard us talk about. Oh God, you were upside down for a second there. So yeah, we're starting a healthy meal plan where we have to have like 5 meals a day: breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner. So I'm gonna be making Martin all of those meals for him, but specifically I'm making his snack and his lunch to take to work, and he'll have that bento box.
Yeah, look at that. So if you've ever been to Bristol before, you might have seen these. These are literally one of the cool sort of like staple marks, I guess, of Bristol. It's kind of, as you head out towards Bath, they have these like kind of coloured houses. It looks like something out of the BBC show. Some people might not have seen it. It's, you know, it's only been out in the last couple of years, but there's a show called Balamory, which I think is just filled with Welsh people, and they're sat on like a port, and all the houses are colourful like that. So if you ever come to Bristol, keep an eye out for those. And also the Banksy artwork, that's in the city centre, and there's loads of amazing graffiti in Bristol. So go around the market square and stuff like that, and you'll see loads of it. It's the best thing in the world. For example, like this one isn't quite graffiti-ish, but there's just art everywhere. It seems like Bristol are very laxed about what art they actually allow on all of the walls. Hello, Louis Spence. Oh, hello. But yeah, so we've got the bin. That's what we're after first. We got the laundry basket, so we've got 2 glorified bins, and then we're on our way now to hopefully find a Curry's. I don't want to go as far as the Mall or the Mall. I had an argument about this once actually. I got in a taxi driver with a guy, and it's spelled M-A-L-L, and the word all is a thing. Americans call it the Mall, and apparently in Bristol they call it the Mall. I've never heard of that thing, but yeah, I had an argument with a taxi driver about that once, and Kai was like, just drop it. I was like, no, I want him to know what proper English is. I could very well be wrong, but
you are.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How come?
You are. It's how it's said in America.
Mall.
That's how it's the Mall here.
Right, okay.
Pall Mall in London. You don't
okay.
Pall Mall.
Pall Mall. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, maybe I was just being a dick then.
Corrected.
Correct, yeah. Oops.
Then under here we've got our plates and bowls, all of our Tupperware, and then I've got my lemon juicer, my salad bowl, and then all of kind of my little mixing and sauce bowls. Under the sink obviously is pretty generic for everyone. It's always the cleaning stuff, but we don't have any of that yet. In here we've actually got our dishwasher. These 2 cupboards on the side, I've decided that's where I'm going to put all of the actual cupboard type food, like your cereals and your biscuits and your tins and stuff like that. Cutlery, I've organised it so nice. Everyone would be so proud. Straws, rainbow of straws. We've got our cake forks, all of that stuff, all of our really sharp knives. And these knives are actually super cool. Let me take... What? Get off. They're actually black. So cool. That is super cool, isn't it? I'll put that back on in a minute. And then we've got all of our other stuff and our little egg poachers, which look like flowers, and our timers and stuff like that. Then here we have got our chopping boards, and these actual things are like for where you can like take hot saucepans like this and put it on here and it won't melt like your surfaces. And then down here we've got like our frying pans and all of that goodness, but some of that stuff is still to come. Then we've got our fridge. Our fridge is so exciting right now. We've got a can of Sprite, some Capri Suns, and lots of varieties of milk. And then our freezer, I actually put some ice cubes in there yesterday because I really like our ice cube trays. We've got one for me, which are heart, and one for Martin, which are kind of like starfishes, but it's Martin's because obviously it's green. And then in here we had a takeaway last night, and they had animal characters, and we were like, okay, that's the coolest thing ever. And they actually have ice cream inside, so we bought them just because.
So we finally got all the stuff. It's just an amount of crap in the back, everything. And we want to show you, is he still there? He is, look at him. He's the happiest little worker on the planet. He waves to everybody. He's going to wave to him, okay? I want everyone to just wave at their computer screen right now. He's probably not even going to clock us, is he? Oh, no. Hey! He's brilliant. He was too busy messing with his balloons. What a hero. You know, it'd be brilliant if he was watching this video now and it's him and he'd be like, oh my god, that's me, that's who pipped me. Oh, what a legend.
So that is what I've been doing all day, and drinking a lot of tea that I'm having to make on the hob. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've just been trying to do as much as I can whilst the furniture's not here. What time is it? It is 2:15 and the furniture still isn't here, and they've got until 7 o'clock. So we've got another 5 hours that the furniture could arrive at any time. So I'm just kind of doing things that I can be interrupted and stuff like that. So I've done all the kitchen stuff, and now I've moved on to the wardrobes. I can't really do much until like our bed and chest of drawers and desks and stuff are here, because a lot of my stuff is computer based. I hope Martin and his dad are having more fun, because it's quite boring here in the Little Dream flat, because it's kind of lonely and sad. But I've just been blaring music. The good thing about this flat is, because we have the windows that go down into the living room from our bedroom, I can actually have my music, which is right there on the windowsill, my little boombox from my iPod. I can have that there, and I can hear the music in the bedroom.
Hi, hello everybody. I'm a little bit drunk. I'm drunk to the point where I can't feel whatever she's doing to my face, and I also feel like I have no teeth. It's a little bit weird. Sparkles is here as well. We thought we'd have dinner with Sparkles today. He's basically come around to the flat to help us set
To
up.
thank him for finding it.
Well, actually, that's a good point. So thank him for finding it. We're treating him to a meal.
And stroking all the walls for us, because that's what he did.
He stroked all the walls in. He also like checked the dust on top of the door. Very weird. He went a bit further than he should do. He's going the extra
He licked the
mile.
walls as well to make sure they tasted good, so he wanted to know.
He's going the extra mile, and then with Sparkles, it's going the extra marathon. That's essentially what it is. And he's here. Hello. Hello.
And there's the little dad.
Everyone basically knows him as in the little dad.
little dad.
But yeah, I genuinely at the minute my face goes numb when I get drunk, and that's when I'm at my limit. But today I feel like I have no teeth, which is a very
It's like you have no face.
it's a new sensation for me today. So I'm a very new
When
level of
Martin
drunk.
gets drunk, he's like a 15-year-old. He's like, oh my god, I'm so drunk.
Yeah, but we're in this restaurant. It's brilliant. It's a woman with a huge afro up there. You can probably see her on the wall.
And look at the sparkly lights up there.
Yeah.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
There's a nice little sort of Christmas vibe going on here, but it's nice. We had to wait for like almost an hour to
So
get a
by
seat.
that point, we're wasted. Now we don't want to eat, we want to
To be
party.
fair, there's one of these branches here in Southampton, and there's also one in Nottingham now as well. And my dad was saying that they have to book a table here 3 weeks in advance
I never book, I
to
just
sit
roll
down.
up.
Well, you normally have to do it a few days before.
I roll up.
But yeah, that's kind of the plan today. We've got Sparks around. We're going to sort out microphones and stuff. Basically, so I can live stream from home, because that's something I wanted to do for ages. Because normally I have to live stream at the office, and I have to walk home afterwards, and it's normally really dark. I get a little bit scared, honestly. So I'm just recording really quickly right now because I've just had an incredibly overwhelming and emotional moment. I think Sparkles is still with me. He's over there. Basically, we've all been pretty drunk tonight inside the restaurant, and we've been talking about stuff. And Kai just genuinely asked the question as a joke, you know, did you ever think that Martin was gay, this, that and the other? And my dad was like, well, other people had the assumption, but I never did. So that was a nice thing to hear. But the biggest thing for me was, as a kid, I never saw my grandma growing up. I saw her up until about the age of about 6 or 7, and then after that I didn't see her until we found out that she had cancer. So it was a good, probably about 10, 11, 12 years that we didn't see her, and suddenly one day it was like, oh, she's got cancer, you're suddenly allowed to see her again. And I never knew between those times exactly why I wasn't allowed to see her. And even after that, even after she passed away, this, that and the other, up until today, I never knew exactly why it was. I always genuinely thought, because my dad can be quite grumpy like I can, I always thought it was because my dad and my grandma had a falling out, and I thought that my dad was just bitter, and I knew my grandma was quite stubborn. I thought they just decided, you know what, it's probably best if we don't see each other. But it turns out that my dad actually stuck up for my grandma's disapproval of my mum, only a little bit. It wasn't anything too dramatic, but it just seemed like there was always something to disagree on. My hands are shaking because it was a bit cold out here, and I just burst into tears in the middle of the restaurant. And I just came outside to get Sparkles is here as well. He's sort of looking after me. I know, it's just overwhelming, and it's not a sad overwhelming, it's actually a really happy overwhelming. It's an overwhelming sense of pride and happiness that he is my dad. And this isn't just the alcohol talking. I genuinely been blubbering like a child if I found this out when I was completely sober. because I'm quite emotional at times. I'm quite like sealed off and just like, you know, this generally happy personality, but I do have these moments where I just like get very overwhelmed, and this is definitely one of them. And I think really what I want you to take away from this vlog today is don't be scared to ask questions. Ask questions. If you feel like you're at the stage where you're ready to hear the answers, if you feel like you're an adult, I would genuinely love it if you could ask those questions to your parents. It can be anything from, you know, do you think I'm gay, through to why don't you speak to this person, or why did you make that decision, and like if you're moving house, anything. Sorry, my dad literally just called me from the restaurant, so it can be anything all the way from there right the way through to you know, why did you make that decision this afternoon, why didn't we buy that food, like, you know, whatever. And yeah, I know this is quite deep for a second day on a personal channel vlog, but a lot of stuff is happening and we're having a lot of conversations. I'm just very happy right now. The problem is like there's a lot of peppers in the food that we're eating here, and my dad's very allergic to everything.
He goes like full Hulk mode when he eats the pepper.
No, he goes Quasimodo mode. Quasimodo.
Quasimodo. He goes Quasimodo.
Was that a Quasimodo face? So yeah, he goes full Quasi mode. He'll have something that he's allergic to, even something as simple as bananas, and his face just like swells up and his eyes get very Michael Caine-ish. It's very strange.
Michael Caine. I'm Michael Caine.
Got to believe in the Batman. Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
We'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.
Actually, okay.
Wait, we're gonna vlog when we get home.
Maybe, but if we don't, the question of the day is going to be, what is your favourite restaurant and why? Let us know. Or what's your favourite dish from that restaurant? Recommend to everybody else watching the videos.
We like restaurants.
We do. We eat out quite a lot. We shouldn't do. It doesn't help with the belly. But anyway, we'll see you all tomorrow. We've actually just seen as well on our phones that you're all really enjoying day one's vlog. So
yeah, and it's got 1,000 likes in an hour and 45 minutes. Like, I can't believe it.
Just thank you so much. Seeing the typical ratio of likes or views on a
We
video.
don't care if there's only one of you watching. If one of you is subscribed and there's one of you watching, that's absolutely great for us. And the fact that there were 13,000 people subscribed and now there's 14,000 views, it's like, it's so good that all of you are watching it and we're so happy.
And it's absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in a moment. I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.